Another one for the 3.15 Expedition League patch notes. So we finally got patch notes released yesterday. I was at work when these came out on the way home, so that's why it's coming out the next day. So by the time this video comes out, all the big streamers are going to have their version of the patch notes out. So that's why, and they know a lot more about the game, so we'll be able to probably go over a lot more of the skills. I sort of going over the skills that I actually know a little bit better. But if I miss anything that anyone watching this thinks is important, if I say something wrong, please put in the description below so anyone else who watches this in the future can see. Just help everyone out. So pretty much, did a little bit of roll, a little bit of things in here, but some of the stuff is on here. So we'll go back and forth. Challenges, 12 challenges, footprints, 24 is weapon effect, and 36 is portal effect. I'm actually pretty good with these. The portal looks really nice. Weapon effect looks really nice. Footprints, don't care. And we won't know what the challenges are until the actual league starts on Friday. We're getting 12 new divination sets this league, 9 new uniques, and 9 new equipment base types. These are pretty much the wards items. They added more, they talked about Act 1, more monster life, more damage, more pack size everywhere. It's pretty much what they announced. So they went through. I'm not going to go over like what the new skills come out, like which areas. It's just not worth it. If you want to read that part, I say just recommend just going on here and just reading it. The Act 1 change we just went over. They explain a lot of this stuff later, so we're not going to go over it now. So the skill effects, hold on, keep going. And we're still going, hold on. There you go. So it's a lot of skill effects to go over. I'm not going to go over all of these because, to be honest, I don't want this to be an hour-long video. No one wants to watch this for an hour. So pretty much a lot of the skills that people don't use did get buffed. Like the ancestrals, like all the random stuff like that. A lot of stuff, like 230% compared to 184. All the melee skills got buffed. Even Cyclone, barely, but a little bit. So one of the things they did hit is they hit Flame Dash, Smoke Mine. They pretty much went after those. So Dash and Flame Dash all are now at a 2.5 cold, or Dash is 2.5 cooldown, so a 0.5 more, and Flame Dash is a 3.5, so a 0.5 more. Let me see how I can do it a little better for you guys. There you go. So they changed it a little bit, and also on both of them, they really went after this on both. They're both about the same. So they pretty much gutted the increased cooldown recovery rate. So I think Dash is like a 50-something%, but they're both at 19 now. So they both got hit extremely hard. And then the third one, if I can find it real quick, Smoke Mine. So Smoke Mine, no longer cooldown, no longer increase effect. Who cares? This is the only thing people care about. Cooldown timer is now 5 seconds instead of 2.5. So they pretty much doubled the time. So pretty much, you're going to pretty much go Smoke Mine, Flame Dash, Smoke Mine, Flame Dash, Smoke Mine. Instead of before, it was, Smoke Mine, Flame Dash, Smoke Mine, Flame Dash. Now you pretty much can cast another one, because at 2 seconds, you won't have a Smoke Mine up. So it's pretty big nerf on the Smoke Mine. I don't know if the racers are still going to use this or not. They might if they have an open slot, but this got hit pretty big. Flame Burst did get nerfed. It still might be a very played skill. Let's see, F. Focus, Flicker Strike buff, Flame Burst. So they went after so it lost about 600 damage. It lost almost 100% effective added damage. It got a 0.5 second cooldown extra. So I don't know. You can probably still League start with Flame Burst, to be honest. It just won't feel as good as it did in Ultimate League. But I definitely can see it probably still being a League start viable. It just won't have the crazy amount of damage that it did due to all the nerfs that the Sport Gems got, which we'll talk about a little bit. I'm not gonna go over all of these. It's a lot to go over, but the three of the steel skills they get buffed. So steel skills very viable. All the melee skills viable. Another fun thing I'll talk about is Spectral Shield Throw got heavily buffed. The reason why I got heavily buffed is pretty much right here. So it now deals 4 to 5 added fizz damage per 15 armor and or evasion rating on your shield at level 1 and 6 to 8 at 20. Before it was 3 to 4 all times. So they pretty much doubled the damage it does at level 20. But they also went through, like, changed 3 times. They reduced the projectiles from 3 to 13 because they changed it, the skill in general, because of that jewel it went with. So I definitely, and it's level 28 now instead of 12. I definitely think people are going to league start with this. I think this is very strong now. I might, throughout the league, at one point, even play Spectral Shield Throw build. Either like a bleed version with the duelist or a ranger version, depending on which way it is. But this could be pretty fun. Meme build still, but it could still be pretty fun to play. And my banana build only got 20% increased damage, so it sucks still. Not the kind of buff I was hoping for. Like, and Split Arrow, huge buff to Split Arrow. Bleed Bow, I think we'll see league start this league. Bleed Bow will be league starting with Bleed Bow because Split Arrow being so, attack speed being 110 is so good. Like all the golems got an aggro range of 50. I think it's like a 10 increase. The Harbinger Belt got heavily nerfed. It's now, both of them are now at 10% increased action speed instead of 20. This is a massive nerf to the belt because this belt, if you never used it, makes the action speed amazing. Attack speed, cast speed, movement speed for you and your minions. So it's pretty nuts when it goes off. But now the fact that they nerfed it, I don't think it won't be as expensive anymore. And I don't think people are going to play it as much. So Headhunter will probably be the item to use over this, or using the Abyssal Belt, the 2 sockets. So that's pretty much the main. I'm not going to go over everything else, but a lot of buffs. Vowel Skills, I didn't go into this because I don't play usually a lot of them, but they're there if you want to read them. So supported gems, they got hit real hard. You're looking between some were 10, some were 20, 30% nerfs, until pretty much all of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, to be honest, because it's so many. Archmage got nerfed hard. So Archmage also can no longer support arcane skills. Cannot do triggers. Where is it? There you go. Support skills now have added lightning damage equal to 60% of mana costs. If it's not higher than the 708%. And this was the quality, but I think a lot of people got mad because of this, but this one. But so Archmage is definitely not gonna be as strong this league. And like there's a little couple changes here and there, but like a lot of this stuff is like about the quality, like they mentioned with all the awakening gems, moving some stuff around. Like Blasphemy only gets the +1, not level 5. Bone Chill did lose these two, the cold damage over time. So cold dot builds got heavily destroyed from this patch note. So I'm not gonna be doing the Vortex cold damage over time build I mentioned. That was my potential league start. It's dead. I'm not gonna attempt to build at all. Brutality lost a lot of damage. Where was the big one I want to talk about? Chain Bleed, Pen, Combustion, Control. I haven't noticed, but I would just go through like this a little faster. Pretty much Empower, Enhance, and Lighten all have a higher reservation multiplier. Where you at? Oh yeah. Fortified pretty much got nerfed across the board. So Fortify is not going to be as strong as it used to be. Here you are. So Awaken Hex Touch, this is massive. They gutted this one completely. Mainly because Awaken Hex Touch at level 5 used to give you a second curse gem. But now the gem no longer grants support skills can't apply an additional curse. So because of this, they pretty much gave everyone no reason to run Awaken Hex Touch. Like there's 0% reason to run this skill because you ran it only for this ability. That's the reason why the gem was always 18, 20 exalts every league. But because of this, no one's going to touch this skill anymore. This is dead. Like Hypothermia, cold damage over time builds got nerfed again. And that was something that cold builds used. Impale got hit. Some skills did get hit hard. Others, a lot of them didn't get hit as bad. Like Life Trap is now 300% costs instead of 200. Main lost more damage. Melee Fizz does not intimidate enemies anymore. So that's a huge, huge nerf to Awaken Melee Fizz because this was the best. This was the reason why Awaken Melee Fizz was so strong. Because if you ran this, it was like your first Awaken gem you always aim for. Like minion damage, lost damage and life. Multi-Strike does 25% less attack damage now instead of 10. But they buffed each hit a little bit, so overall, it's still pretty nerfed. A lot overall is mainly just increased mana reserve on everything. Got buffed up. Didn't touch Power Charge. Second Wind got gutted. Big fact that now it's a support skills now have a 24% reduced cooldown recovery rate instead of 5 increase, which is insane. And 5 at level 20. So it's level 1 version, it's level 20 version, which is insane. Trying to think what else to go over. Totems didn't get touched. Trap miners got a little bit touched. So pretty much from this, a lot of skills did get hit, but totem builds didn't get touched. The new totem ancestral slam builds, I think that's gonna be very playable. The what you want to call it? The steel skills can be good. Minions can still see play. Totems, that one I wrote the list actually. Hold on. Like steel skills, totems, miners, trappers didn't get hit at all. Melee skills that just don't heavily rely on fortifier and still be very good. Spectral shield throw might be good. Like, there's a lot of good skills this league. It's just finding the correct one. I would say if your build did like 5 million damage in Ultimatum League, it's still very viable. If your build did maybe 1 to 2 million damage on the high end, I would probably recommend not playing that build this league, just because all the nerfs it's got to be on the safe side. Passive tree balance, they redid a lot of the passive tree. I'm gonna skip this because it's a lot of little things. Ascendancy is pretty much what they mentioned in Manifesto, is that they removed, on the Templar, the Pathfinder, and the Raider, and the Elementalist, they've removed the Elemental immune except for Radar. They just reduced it to 50 instead of 100. And it doesn't get an onslaught, but the rest of them, they just outright moved them. And they removed the 4 to 5 buff from the champion. And pretty much Pantheons. Yugal is now reduced effective curses. Rakasha, I think it is the corrupted blood now. And then Girthon, the last Pantheon you get in Act 9, instead of being a 6% increased movement speed if you have been hit recently, which was really nice to run, it's now cannot be blinded and you can't be mained. So I personally think I'm going to be running Yugal just because reduced effective curses I think is going to be very strong. Item balances, pretty much 21, 23 gems can only be done in the Temple of Ukibuki. We're a double corrupting chamber now and you can't get any more through quest items. Pretty much you can no longer attain level 2 or higher versions of Empower, Enhance, or Lighten as random drops as league rewards. So it means to be a lot more level 1s in the game. Catalyst, they finally fixed this problem with Catalyst. When if you sometimes craft on an item that has Catalyst on it, it'll remove the Catalyst. So they finally fixed that. The new Blessed Boots and Adminus Ring, the one that gives you the Chaos Resistance, as it got buffed. So now it's a 23 and 17, which is really nice. They nerfed pretty much anything that had the word effective fortified on it. Got shitted on completely. It's a lot lower on everything. Or they removed it from the game. Veil modifiers, Aisling tier 4 now, it has to annul a random item before it Aisling slams. They took off the Abyssal Jewel suffix that grants Onslaught, no more. What else? The Synthesized modifier that grants Flask effect and Fortified effect can no longer roll. The Influence, just increase Impale effects. Increase Impale. The Blessing of God Divination card has been disabled. This one's a big one right here. So the Abyssal Jewel modifier that gives you the 30% increased accuracy if you haven't killed recently. This is the one that the accuracy stacker Blissa totems were doing last league to make your build crazy when you run, 6, 7, 8, like 10 of them for 300% increased accuracy. So they gutted that build completely. That build's 100% dead now because they removed this whole entire mod. So no more accuracy totem stacking totems anymore. Fortify nerf. The Shaper influence rings that give you like the increased effects of like Assassin's Mark, all that kind of stuff. They buffed them. Pretty much the Shaper influence boots, that ones that pretty much a lot of builds ran for a chance to avoid elemental immunity alignments. They pretty much lowered those by 10%, so now 25 is the max roll. And I'm pretty sure elevated is probably 35 now instead of 50. Body armor, instead of being a 45 max, is now a 30 max, so I lost 15 there. And the gloves and helmet. Oh wait, can now be crafted on boots and shields. Oh, okay, that's new actually. So the avoid elements, the ones we used to craft only on helmets and gloves, can now be done on boots and shields also, which is, I think, it's pretty cool. No, instead of them actually. Instead of, so I think they removed the glove and helmet version and put them on the boots and shield, which is pretty bad. We'll have to look at increase more, but I believe that if I read that correctly, it's only on these two now instead of these two, which is a huge nerf. Because you'll never put them on boots, be honest. It was pretty much a glove and helmet slot. It's pretty much now only an 18. Pretty much Quicksilver Flask consumes, only 2 sets. Diamond Flask got ripped. The Court Flask, it only lost 4%, which I'm surprised. I thought it'd be a lot worse. It's not too bad. Granite and Jade only lost half their values, which is still playable. Stimbiant, the one that gives you the invasion, no longer. Now it's just more invasion. Basalt is absolutely destroyed. Silver Flask, Sulfur Flask, more charges. Charges. The Enduring Flask, this is the mana one that every build pretty much played. The one that gives you, it doesn't, it doesn't run out when your mana's full. It keeps going till the full number runs out. So it used to be a 30% reduced duration. Now it's a 66% reduced duration. So you're probably looking at not even 700 mana maybe on the max roll one, if I had to guess. Maybe even less, which is a huge nerf. Dousing, Heat, Grounding, they all pretty much last for 1 second now. Wardings don't give you immune to curses anymore. So pretty much unique items. They didn't hit too many. They did hit some of the timeless jewels. So like Malicious Fate, you cannot get the 1% reduced cost of skills. There was another one too. The Brutal Restraint timeless jewel can no longer alter passes that grant non-unique flash effect. Lethal Pride passive to gain 5% increase 4 to 5 instead of 10. It's like more nerf. Berserk Respite. This was the one that you use on the Ignite builds. Alignments is now 20 instead of 25. Might not be a huge nerf, but this is 5. The Pledge of Hands got its increased mana effect reduced by half. Facebreaker is changed a word to unarmed attack. Doriani's Marshall. Rumi's Concoction. This is the double black flask. It's pretty much they reduced it pretty good. So it's now an 8 to 12 block instead of being a 14 to 20. And a 4 to 6 instead of a 6 to 10. It's not the worst, to be honest. This one, though, Lion's Eye Roar, got hit even harder. It's now a 7 to 10% more damage instead of a 20 to 25. So it's a huge damage reduction on Lion's Roar. Bottle Faith. Bottle Faith got absolutely wrecked. So Bottle Faith no more has that 1 to 2% increased crit strike chance against enemies on concentrated ground. It's now 100 and 150% increased crit strike chance against enemies on concentrated ground. And 20 to 40% increased duration instead of 30 to 50. So it's definitely lost a lot of value. If people are going to farm this on Cortex anymore, probably not. Zuri's Promise. Unique Flask is now a 5 to 8 Fizz damage is extra chaos instead of a 15 to 20. And a 5 to 8 elemental instead of 10 to 15. So a pretty good nerf on that one too. Dying Sun is now a 10 to 20% increase AoE instead of 15 to 25, so 5% less AoE. A 125 to 150 increased charges use instead of a minus 10 to 10%. So that's pretty big. It now has a 40 to 60% reduced duration. So you're only going to have it maybe for like 1 to 2 seconds. That's it now. But you still get your 2 arrows, so yeah, it's not the best anymore, but it's still be playable. Cinderwell Urn, they did change this one pretty big. This was so from Katrina, this one used to be able to get all 3 of these, recover life, mana, and energy shield on it with whatever else. Now they pretty much took that out and you only get 1 of them now. So when it drops, you might have a life, you might have ES, or you might have mana. It's only 1 of 3. So it's a huge nerf to the Cinderwell Flask. And Taste of Hate, Wise Oak is now 6% instead of 10. Witchfire Brew, Signature Flask, all these flasks got nerfed. Soul Catchers, Buddha Karui, which is weird. Overflowing Chalice. I mean, they pretty much went through a bunch of them. Cluster Jewels. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but pretty much a big thing to know is the movement speeds. Did any flash effect durations got nerfed? Brand skills got nerfed. Avoid elements on elegant form is now 15 instead of 30. All the brand stuff, all the damage over times through bleed, just flats, whatever, ignite, all those they got nerfed too by easily half. Cooked Alive is now a -5 instead of 10. Burning Bright, which is the one that a lot of the fire builds used, is no longer an 8% to fire damage overtime multiplier and the 20% increased fire direct damage. It's now just a flat 25 increased burning damage. That's it. Blowback as ignites now deal 8% faster instead of 15, so lost half of that. Claw-Blooded Killer got reduced. Pretty much all the cold dot stuff got nerfed too. There was one more I do want to go over though. All the bleed ones. There was a big one in here. Where are you at? Shit. Probably I didn't write it down either. There you are. So cold conduction got nerfed. This was the one that this was the reason why self chill was so good. Also, a lot of builds that chill did use this because it's really good defensive layer. So this was the one that pretty much enemies chilled by your hits are shocked, and enemies shocked are chilled, which is what self-chill did. And a lot of builds use this for defensive. Does it shock people with cold abilities, something like that? So now it's just 20% increase effect of lightning or cold. That's it. So huge nerf. We changed some bossing around. They did shuffle all the maps now, finally. So we know what tier, like natural tier maps every map is. But we don't know where they are in the atlas yet. So I'm hoping HH is pretty good, but I'm not sure what's gonna be in there. Hoping open area maps. Harbinger Bosses from Diplomat Escort, which was the reason why everyone ran Nemesis on there, now spawns far fewer monsters. Xana League mod, I'm actually very happy for this. Pretty much the only ones that matter is these ones. Metamorph for 5 Chaos, Ritual for 13, and Delirium for 16. Which Metamorph with the Atlas passes that you can choose with it is going to make Metamorph extremely good. Ritual with the HH stuff means I'm going to be doing a lot of Ritual this league. Because you can just go in there, activate this, have 5 of those. It's going to be expensive to get that. But you're going to have plenty of Splinters. Splinters should pretty much pay for the 13 Chaos back. And it's just rinse and repeat. Delirium, if anyone's remember this from back in the day when Delirium was on the map device, you make a lot of money doing this. But you only want to do this if you can full clear the full mirror. If you can't do the mirror, I wouldn't recommend not spending 16 Chaos. Because if you can full clear it, you'll make your money back. It's a good way to get Scarabs, the Delirium Orbs, Simulacrums, all that kind of stuff. Headhunter is going to be a very big item this league. Because Headhunters are going to blast your Delirium. Pretty much, if you have Headhunter, do Delirium. If you don't have Headhunter, do Metamorph for Ritual. More stuff. They pretty much, more cursors, stuff with the free cursors. Also, you get 4 more new ones. Lets you put them on different spots. Just where crest rewards are. I'm going to skip them. Some changes, some bugs. I'm not going to go through the bugs. I didn't even look at them myself, to be honest. And then stuff they've been fixing since it came out. And this has been going up every time. So that's pretty much the patch notes. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more we could talk about. Make this video a lot longer. It's just I don't want you guys to sit here for over an hour. So I'm going to cut it here at 28 minutes. I think that's plenty long for patch note release. With the amount that already become videos that come out about patch notes before mine did. But I'm okay leaving it there. So, hope everyone liked the video. Like, subscribe down below. Come follow me on Twitch. This should be one of the last 2 videos. There should be one more video after this. It's already made. That will come out on Thursday. Tomorrow. And then on Friday should be what I'm playing for League Start. And then after that, we start the League Diary until Cyrus is done, which I'm hoping by Monday. So thank you for everyone coming out today, and hope to see everyone on the next video.